If you love caramel, you're going to want to try this out. Welcome to Disney Dishes, where I'm making all the most popular snacks and dishes from around Walt Disney World parks and hotels. None of these recipes belong to me. They are my own creations at home based off the favorites around the park. Today is stop number 14. It's our final stop in the Magic Kingdom. We're at Cinderella's royal table having the clock strikes 12, which you can see is just a visually striking dessert. I had no idea you could get this in the Magic Kingdom because I've never eaten at Cinderella's royal table, because you have to book a table like a year in advance and then you have to pay 90 bucks an adult just to eat there. So I'm like, nah, I'm good. But this was definitely worth including on the list, especially as our final stop in this park, because you can see it just looks really special. So let's make it.
All right, we got several components to make here. We need to start with the crust. So for that, we have all-purpose flour and salt in a bowl, and we've got cold unsalted butter that we're going to cut into cubes. Now, I make my tart shell very similar to the way I make pie pastry. I just add a tablespoon of granulated sugar to the same recipe, and I really like how it comes out. So to make sure it stays nice and flaky, you want to make sure the butter stays cold. So cube it up, keep it in the fridge until you're ready to use it, and you're going to want to pinch it into the flour mixture, or you can do this in a food processor if you want to just make it a little bit easier. Once the butter is broken up into various size pieces, we're going to add ice cold water, about 6 to 7 tablespoons. So add 6 to begin with and just mix that together. And once it barely comes together, you shouldn't need to add any more water. But if it seems really dry, add 1 more tablespoon. And then I'm just going to divide this up. You can see the lovely chunks of butter in there. And I'm using 4-inch cake pans with parchment. If you have mini tart shells, or if you just want to make one large tart, that is totally up to you. I'm doing 4-inch cake pans because I couldn't find my mini tart shells. I'm pretty sure they are in storage for some reason. So I'm going to line the pressed pastry in that pan with some parchment and fill with beans, because we are going to blind bake this. So fill it all the way with beans. We're going to bake it at 375 for around 20 minutes. And then after that 20-minute timer goes off, you're going to remove the beans, bake it for another 15, and make sure it's nice and golden brown before letting it cool. Now we're going to make a basic caramel. So we've got sugar in a skillet. We're going to heat over a medium-low heat. Don't want to turn it too high because you don't want to burn your sugar. Once the sugar turns amber and is melted, we're adding in hot, heavy cream. And then once that is combined, we're going to add in softened butter. And then that is the base for the caramel sauce. Now to make this salted caramel, after that butter's been mixed in, we're going to add in some salt and vanilla off the heat. And that is pretty much it for a basic salted caramel sauce. It is really, really good, and it lasts on the counter and stays nice and runny, but if you chill it, just microwave it to thin it back out. Now we're going to make the mousse. So we've got milk and some powdered sugar. We're going to add espresso and then that salted caramel we made before. After it's been cooled, we're going to add that in along with some vanilla, so we get a caramel coffee mousse here. I'm going to whisk that until nice and smooth, and then we're going to beat up some cold, heavy cream. We're also going to set this with gelatin. So I've got some gelatin and water. We're going to set aside for 5 minutes while we beat up the cream. The cream is easier to whip if it's cold, so just make sure it stays cold and it'll whip up real fast to stiff whipped creamy peaks. So once that gelatin is bloomed and soft, we are going to microwave it just to liquefy it again, and that is going to get whisked into our mousse mixture there. And then last but not least, we're going to fold in the whipped cream. Start with a little bit to begin with and just stir it around, and then add the rest of the whipped cream. This will seem on the thin side, but look really, really nice and fluffy. It'll set in the fridge thanks to the gelatin. So if you're doing a large tart, just keep it in the bowl and chill it for a few hours. But I'm gonna make this into sphere molds just so this can look really, really pretty, and I can do individual mini tarts here. So we've got our caramel coffee mousse going in a sphere mold. Just clean up the top after they've been filled, cover with plastic, and we're gonna give those a few hours in the fridge and let those hang out. So for ganache, the base of the tart, we've got semi-sweet chocolate chips, pouring over hot, heavy cream just under the simmer point. I microwave it and take it out when it just barely begins to simmer. And then it's pretty much hot enough. You don't want it to be a full boil because it can burn the chocolate. But stir it together with the chocolate, add in some softened butter and some vanilla extract, and you've got a delicious, rich chocolate ganache that we're gonna pour directly into our baked and cooled tart shells. Now again, if you're doing one large tart, just pour it into the base of the big tart. And then after the ganache has chilled in the fridge, you can spread your caramel coffee mousse on it. For the garnish, I have white chocolate that I've melted in the microwave, just like 10-second intervals, stirring between each one. And then we're gonna pour it into a ring mold so I can make the clock face that, according to my research, is the garnish for the dessert you get at Cinderella's royal table. So I really like how these came out. I poured the chocolate right into the mold, gave it a few seconds, and lifted that mold up, and it stayed in a nice little circle shape. And I have an edible printer, so this is just extra, but I wanted to be extra. I printed the clock face and got that put on the white chocolate, so that is a totally edible garnish there. Now to assemble, we've got our ganache tart. I'm gonna spread just a little bit of salted caramel on top of that, and then we have our set caramel coffee mousse spheres. If you do have a sphere mold or want to get creative with that, just be careful when you're unmolding so it holds its shape. But thanks to the gelatin, it looks really, really nice. And then of course on top we have our clock face white chocolate garnish. And that's it, my friends. The clock strikes 12. It's a lot of components, but it's a really special dessert and it's absolutely delicious.
Now I know it's a lot of components, but you don't have to do this whole clock face. Obviously, if you want to make this a little bit easier and not quite as stressful, you can make one big tart, have the ganache, and just spread the caramel mousse over that, and then just shave some white chocolate on top, and you've got pretty much the same thing, just a little bit easier to make and not quite so finessed with all the details. But I wanted to emulate what they serve in the park. Even though I've never had it, I had to kind of rely on the images from my search, but I think I did a pretty good job here. Now, if you've ever had this, let me know in the comments, because again, I've never been to Cinderella's royal table, and I don't know that I ever will, but I'm really glad I saw this on the list of things to make because it was well worth it. And obviously that's just white chocolate, which I love. But when I read that this was caramel coffee mousse, I was already sold because that just sounds amazing. And then having that with ganache and a nice buttery tart shell, that alone really isn't complicated, but it's such a great flavor combination. I made a very thick tart shell, so ideally make it a little bit thinner, but you got that nice silky smooth ganache in there, the caramel mousse, and then that tart shell. Honestly, if I own a higher end restaurant, I would probably include something very similar to this on my dessert menu, because you've got a variety of texture with buttery flaky crust, that really nice decadent ganache, and then the super silky smooth, light and airy mousse. It's a really great combination of flavor and texture. I mean, caramel and chocolate, match made in heaven, but having that hint of coffee in there and then the butteriness, it really is a fantastic dessert. Now, since we are done with the Magic Kingdom, we will be moving on to the next stop in our series, and I won't tell you where that is yet. You'll have to stick around for the next video to see what area of Walt Disney World we'll be recreating recipes from next. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can check out the next videos in this amazing series. Don't forget to leave some comments below if there are any dishes or snacks you want me to include that you love from Walt Disney World. I will absolutely do that. Of course, be sure to give this video a nice thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.